Hi folks, Colin here, back with more rock and roll. Good to see you as always. So we're going to have a wee look at a little bit of Route 66, an old classic played by the Rolling Stones, written by Chuck Berry. It's a goodie because it's got a lot of good concepts in it, and it's quite easy to play, so always good for me. So just going to say before I go on, I'm doing workshops, so if you like the kind of content I make in these videos, and I teach people to play guitar a lot, you can join one of these workshops. It's only £7 and you can come along and we just go through a lot of the concepts that I teach on the videos. You meet lots of people, it's on Zoom, and some of the people get to know each other and they make bands up and stuff like that. We've got a few guys that have started playing in bands just through meeting us on the Zoom calls. Anyway, I'll put the link down below in the video. So this is a song that's quite famous by the Rolling Stones, and it's quite a good one to learn if you're just sort of getting into sort of pentatonics and rock and roll. It's got lots of good licks in it. So I'm going to teach it in the key of A, and what I'm doing here, I'm actually playing out of the rockabilly scale. I've done a whole video on that and I'll put a link up. You can have a look at that separately, but you don't need to just now. Just go through it quickly. So what we're doing, we're in the sort of key of A. We're going to play 7 on the G and the B, and then we're going to play 5 on the B and G. So we just sort of bend it, and then we're going to play 7 on the D. Then walk up, 7 on the A, 5 on the D, then 7 on the D twice. And you might want to bend or use a little bit of vibrato. So let's just do that slowly. So you do that kind of over the A chord. Now these sort of licks are things that you can use. So I'm playing over A, but if I want to play over a B, I just move the whole thing up. And this is the great thing about the guitar that I keep telling people. It's just you can just move licks to suit whatever key you're in. So anyway. Then over the D chord, we're going to just play the top part of that little D chord with our first finger. And we're going to play like a sus chord. So we're going to put our second finger onto the 8th fret. So it's just that. But we're going to play the D chord over the top of it. So one more time. Then we're going to go, then over the E chord, it's just moving that idea that we did over the D chord, then back to the D chord, so that's up 2 frets, so that's on the 9th fret, and put the 10th fret on the B on, then this first riff again. I made a little mistake there, sorry about that, something caught my attention. Anyway, so these are great wee licks to learn, and the thing about that D, it's just a little A shape. We're just putting our sort of sus 4 on, so that's 8 on the B. So again, these are movable licks. That's why it works over the E. So that's quite recognisable. Now if I was going to play the rhythm, I'll just do something like that. So all we're really doing, we're just playing an A, we're just walking up. So we've got our same idea, first finger making that A, play 3, 4 on the A, and I've got 2 on the D and the G, and 4 on the D, back to 2. So it goes from Chicago to LA, and I did a 9th chord there, did a whole video on this recently, so hope you've been watching. So basically it's 5 on the A, 4 on the D and 5 in the top 3 strings. Well, it goes from Chicago to LA, more than 3,000 miles. And if I wanted to, I could put in a C7 shape, which is also a D7 chord, all the way. Get your kicks on Route 66. Well, it goes from St. Louis down to Missouri. Alabama City is oh so pretty and willow. E chord with a C7 D7 with a C7 shape. So you can just sort of chug along like that through the verses. Now, I've never really worked out the main solo, but I know all that kind of stuff. So what I do generally, because when you start playing gigs and stuff like that, as you will do if you've not started already, you end up learning an awful lot of songs in a very short space of time, and you just can't remember them all because there's so many. So what you have to do is you just have to get the kind of principles, and this is just what I'm trying to teach. So I'm really playing out this rockabilly scale when I'm soloing. So to teach the scale very, very quickly, I just come down 8, 7, 5 on the top 2 strings, 8, 7, 5 in the next 2 strings. Oh well, probably 8, 7, 6, 5 on the G. Then it's then on the D it's 7, 5, then 7, 6, 5 on the A, then 8, 7, 5 on the E. But we're not really worrying about it's just that I just kind of use the top sort of 4 strings. So you could just use a minor pentatonic scale. So it's going to sound okay. This is the thing, people get very upset about getting all the notes right, but when you're playing to a gig, there's a lot of stuff going on, people are drinking, they're not really that bothered if you've not got the correct flat 5 in the right place, you know. Flat 5, I do know what it is, guys, and that's what it is. So anyway, what I do is I do something like that. So I might bend up on the 7 on the G and then play the top 2 strings on the 5th fret. And I was just coming down 7, 5 on the G, just making it up. Then what I do is I usually just put in some licks that people will recognise, and once they hear the things they recognise, that's all you need. So I'm playing 8 on the high E, 10 on the B, then this is out of my D minor shape, then I'm going to my A shape, so I'm 7 on the high E, 8 on the B. So I'm just using a combination of those 2 shapes. So D minor, major, minor, minor, major, and I go back to me. And I just go back to that pentatonic. And I do minor at the 12th, then at the 10th, major, minor, minor. That's it eventually. Something like that. It's hard to do when you're actually not in real time, as it were, but you can see I'm trying to just show you. So just fiddle around with that and see how you get on. So that maybe people get very annoyed at me by teaching in this way, but I just think it's much better just to show people how to play it rather than give them note for note all the time, because otherwise you just get stuck in that kind of note for note kind of world, and it's actually quite limiting. You're far better just to be able to just understand what's going on and just express yourself freely. So apologies if I've offended a lot of people, and I look forward to your comments. Anyway, if you're interested in learning more about this stuff, just learn how to play guitar rather than doing it note for note all the time, and you want to come along to the Zoom workshops, just have a look at the link in the description and book a session with me, and there'll be loads of other people there and we'll have a good time. Okay folks, that's it for today. Keep rocking.